How's everybody doing? Alright? Alright. So, throughout the past couple of months, years, whenever I've gone out to film something on location, or if I'm just leaving home for slightly too long to not play any guitar, or maybe I have to record a video while I'm there, I will usually assemble a flight rig and a backpack that always kind of looks the same. Some sort of amp, some sort of cab, and some sort of ambient effects. The actual pedals used can vary, but it is usually set up something like that. Maybe depending on the kind of preamp pedal that I'm using, I might also add in something like overdrive, distortion, but it is typically kept to less than 4 pedals. The setup that I personally have been using for the past, let's say, 2 years, maybe 2.5, has all been based on this inexpensive little gizmo, the Engel Power Tap. It has saved my ass many, many times, but it's also been very annoying many of those times. Essentially, this thing, when powered by a regular USB cable, will serve as a power output for 2 9-volt guitar pedals. So currently, to power 2 pedals on the go, this is what my setup would look like. A standard old school USB phone power bank, because it can't be all USB-C yet, it still needs to have the old school outputs. Cable number 1 into the power bank, going into the Engel Power Tap, and into these 2 power output cables to then power 1 pedal each with. And this will power my amp and my cab. It does not yet have the capacity for anything outside of that, so I can't power a 3rd pedal for some ambient effects with it. That would require a 2nd power tap into the 2nd USB out of the power bank. So while this setup may save your ass over not having one at all, Daddario recently messaged me with a complete game changer. And while I am being paid for this video, while it is sponsored, and I understand that you may want to take what I say with a grain of salt, as soon as I read this, I knew that I had to make a video on it because it is exactly what I need in my life right now. And here we have it. So this is a USB-C rechargeable battery pedal power kit, and it comes with a bunch of cables, as well as the big boy itself, the 10,000 milliamp hour battery that powers them, which can supposedly last up to 10 plus hours. Now, that, I'm sure it is true. I don't know how many pedals are being powered at once if it lasts 10 plus hours, but no gig in the world is 10 hours long. So regardless of any of that, if you're not too paranoid about everything not being constantly hooked up to wall power, you could have a much more cable-free setup for gigs with a pedal board. And obviously this is made to go with Daddario's Expand pedal boards. It's not exclusive to them, but it's made specifically to like fit on one and just blend in with it if you're using a pedal board like that, like I am. But I'm not going to be focusing on that. What I'm going to be focusing on is building the ultimate mini backpack fly rig just powered by this thing. And I think I know just what I want the setup to be. So affiliate links for everything, especially the Daddario stuff, in the description. First off, as the heart of this rig, I have chosen the Chrome Boy Joe Satriani signature Tone X1 by IK Multimedia. I think this thing is completely badass, and it eliminates the need for an external impulse response pedal. For a little bit of overdrive, even though, yes, I know there are infinite tonal options with the Tone X, leave me alone, I've chosen the MXR Yngwie Malmsteen overdrive. Since using a daisy chain like this to power your pedals with can cause some interference and noise, and then my go-to for the ambient effects as usual is my very compact Crazy Tube Circuits Sidekick Jr. Now just power it up with this power brick, keep the second one as a spare in your back pocket, and let's see how the micro rig that I've built sounds. Now, you may feel any number of ways about this. Either you are looking at your screen right now and saying, Kalen, I don't give a fuck about power supplies, please make better content. Or, and this is what I think a lot of you are feeling right now, you are ecstatic like me, that you finally have a great wireless pedal power solution. Well, not wireless, but one less wire, as in the cable that goes into the wall isn't there. You know what I mean. You are off grid with this because you can just attach the power brick to the pedal board and just get going. And I've been using this for a while. Obviously, I used it after unboxing just for, trial before actually making a review video. But I've also been messing around with it. I recorded all of the demo tracks for this video and whatnot. And it's currently still sitting at 85%, which means any gig that you throw at it, this is going to be able to handle, and a lot more. You could probably play 2 gigs with this, like on 2 separate days without charging it in between. Might be pushing it, but depending on the number of pedals you could. Now, does this mean my little ghetto budget version over here doesn't work? No, not at all. But is this a much smarter and more elegant solution? Well, yeah, obviously. Now, currently, I have a length of cable still left over because I just used the daisy chain cable that came in the original box. And so there are like 7 connectors on here that aren't being used because this is meant for about 10 pedals and I only have 3 on right now. But in classic D'Addario fashion, they sell these DIY cable kits so you can make them to your desired length, or I could just shorten the existing one. Because the thing about these is they're actually solder free. You just loosen these little things and then you can, move the plug around, tighten it again, and it's connected. And then technically, you can also use the DIY patch cable kit to do the exact same thing solder free. If you're very certain that you just have one rig with no variable parts, then you have like a perfectly fitting bespoke set of cables for it so that you can just always toss it into the same backpack, into the same suitcase, and it just always runs straight out of that without any excess wire. That is what I'm probably going to do as soon as I refine this a little bit, because I think the Tone X1 is going to be sort of a central part of my future fly rigs, and I just got it in the other day, so I still have to kind of figure out what pedals go best with it. And I'm pretty sure once I've done that, it's just this rig into the top compartment of the Backline backpack, and then out the door I am. And in case you think this is just some paid sponsor shill bullshit and I've never touched that backpack before in my life, go watch any of my on-location videos, any of my stuff where I'm just like abroad. In all of it, you're going to see at least a little speck of that backpack, because even if I'm not showing it off to the camera for a sponsorship, it's in the background, basically carrying the recording. So thank you, D'Addario, for making not just this video possible, but for making my future fly travel rigs just that much better. If you want any of this stuff, just the standard pedal power kit, the replacement batteries, the fixing Velcro pedal things, the DIY cable kits, as well as any of the other gear I used in this video, links in the description for Thomann and Sweetwater. Yes, they are affiliate links. Yes, I make a commission off of them. Thank you in advance, and I'll see you around.